Welcome to Mimsy Africa's Emoji Themes. Today we will be counting down, in our opinion, the top 5 themes of Senegalese legendary author Mariama Ba's classic epistolary novel, as well as being a semi-autobiographical work, So Long a Letter, originally titled and written as Si un long retrait in French and published in 1979. We did a doodle summary on the book earlier, so if you haven't read the book, check the video out to get an idea and then come back. Number 5. Independence. Ramatoulaye and Aissatou can be seen as a symbol of newly independent Senegal and other African nations. They are also another parallel here. However, it is not as easy as it seems for both women, as they are caught in between pleasing their in-laws and making their own lives and completely untying themselves from their security. In the same fashion, Senegal was hesitant to gain its own independence from France, as then President Leopold Sedar Senghor felt they were not ready to be free of French occupation and free from its benefits. Yeah, it's mind-blowing, but it's totally true. Senegal initially delayed their own independence for European benefits. But in Harry Potter, Albus Dumbledore once said, you can either take the easy decision or the right one. Aissatou, who is Ramatoulaye's parallel and perhaps another symbol of other African nations such as Ghana or Uganda, does not hesitate to cut ties and endure the pain as long as she gets to stand on her own 2 feet. This is what Aissatou does. The sooner, the better. Though this was obviously the harder choice in the short term, it sure was the wisest in the long. She becomes wealthy and starts paying her own bills without a freaking mother-in-law screaming down your ear to cook and wash and shoot babies out your stomach like all these mother-in-laws seem to do. Because anyone, especially us guys, aside of me of course, can shower you with promises today but break them all tomorrow when we simply don't feel the same way as we did in that moment. This is the reason why Ramatoulaye finally refuses to be inherited into another marriage after Modou's death at the end of the book. So basically, the message is codependence is always dangerous, guys, and independence rarely comes easy at first, but it's always worth it in the long run, no matter how hard it does get sometimes. Although in most African nations, the pain of independence is really starting to feel a little long for me. I mean, yeah, do you feel like it's long overdue? Yeah. Number 4, betrayal. They often say that the worst thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. The in-laws that betray her friend Aissatou by pushing Maudo to take another wife, which turns out to be his cousin. Ew! Like Yaya Kadi did with Muriel in Scarlet's Song, despite doing everything right. But the most crushing betrayals come towards Ramatoulaye. This woman never catches a break, man. Ever since the day she says I do to Modou, it's been downhill from there on. Everything is on her throat, whether it is the double standards of tradition that disregards her interests, or her husband Modou's treacherous infidelity, despite sacrificing her life against her parents' wishes to be his loving wife. She has given her husband a whopping 12 children, for goodness sake, and this is the thanks that she gets. Senegalese Islamic culture and religion is seen as treacherous as a whole to women, as it fails to protect them like it does with men, which is something that is pretty common in African cultures, I have to say, across the board. Whether it is South Africa, Namibia, Nigeria, Kenya, or here in Zimbabwe, women have it rough. I mean, like, seriously. Cultures always seem to betray them. When Modou starts getting some serious paper, he forgets his day one who loved him when he was still a scrub and becomes a sugar daddy who only dates women. Although I can't really say women, they're more like girls. I mean, their ages. He shockingly cheats on Ramatoulaye with a girl who is literally his daughter's age. Like, quite literally, really. Modou cheats on his wife with his daughter's teenage best friend, Benito. I mean, who does like that, right? Besides Jacob Zuma, King Swati, or R. Kelly? Okay, I get your point. Goodness me. Yeah, goodness me. He takes a new, much hotter wife, Betrayal, as Slay Queen. You know, one of those really hot girls who know how to show the right amount of cleavage or leg to lure rich men to the surface, like fresh bass on the side of the lake. If you don't know much about Slay Queens, I suggest you visit our wise village boy from the mountains, Master Kwanchima Sele, and he will give you a detailed account about the creature known as a Slay Queen. Number 3, education. There is an interesting parallel in So Long a Letter where two women are put in the exact same position but make opposing choices. And we get the privilege of witnessing the different results of these respective choices. The two women, of course, being Rama Taulai and her best friend Isa too. Both women are in monogamous marriages initially, but are later approached by polygamy. Isa too is approached with this dilemma of choosing a man who is about to take a second wife, which she rightfully sees as a clear red flag, despite his pleas that he only really loves her. Like, ladies, seriously, how many times have you heard that, right? Isa too flips some deuces towards Maudo like Chris Brown and wisely chooses education over this polygamous marriage, which ends her true liberation away from this polygamous mess. Whereas Ramatulai, who does accept Modu's pleas as they seem sincere, well, at least they do seem sincere at the time. However, as we fast forward to many years, children, and a few little more wrinkles later, Modo changes and starts treating her like Modi leftover jollof rice from Lagos, Nigeria. Yet she can't leave because though she is an educated teacher as well, she is emotionally codependent, unlike Isa too. She is basically trapped in this unhappy and loveless marriage because she feels it's her obligation to be a good wife and stand by her man, even though she's not really her man because he humiliatingly abandoned her for Daba's best friend. And as much as she loves her children, unfortunately, as they are in many other abusive marriages around the world, they become an anchor that forces her to stay in this unhappy, toxic marriage for them. She does it for them, or maybe again it's just an excuse to cover up that maybe she's just not educated enough or strong-willed enough to support herself. Number 2, the double standards of marriage. The double standards are mainly seen through Ramatolai's marriage, whereby she is expected along with the rest of the Senegalese women to see it as this some sort of sacred commitment and engagement. There's seemingly nothing wrong with that, but the problem here is that these values seemingly apply only to women. Men break their vows with so much impunity in this book you would think they are only breaking Easter eggs. As you can see, marriage is supposed to be sacred to a woman and not the man, especially with Maudo, whose only defense upon impregnating another woman is, wait for it, it wasn't my fault. My mother made me do it. It's her fault. Okay, and this in the clear. Imagine. Many men like Modo or Maudo can have as many wives as they want and have many extramarital affairs without facing traditional social consequences women have to face when they break their vows, which makes their marriages much more chaotic than they seem on the outside. Love in this novel is seen more of a form of financial convenience, or maybe I'm just being a pessimistic conky about this, but think about it. Isa too isn't accepted by her mother-in-law because she comes from a dead broke family that scrubs mine shafts, which is also partly the argument of why Ramatuola's parents do not accept Modo initially. And money is also the reason Binitu's parents do not see any problem at all with her marrying her best friend's father.
If you don't think money can buy happiness, you don't know where to shop. You can get money and then go save the world. You can get money and save the forests in Brazil. You make money and go save global warming. But without money, you can't save a thing. Don't you understand? Don't the idiots on YouTube understand that? Until you make some shekels.
Hate it or love it, guys, money sure does do things to people. Modu probably, as with other blesser, gets Binatu not because he got game, but because he is in love with that mucho plata. Mucho plata. Number 1, Patriarchy, women rights, and feminism. It's almost embarrassing to name these themes because it's so obvious, hey? Most African feminist novels are a derivation of the female author's own personal brushes with that sexist injustice. Whoa, sexist injustice. I should totally write that down. And this novel is no exception. Neither is Mariama Barr's other novel, Scarlet Song, where even women themselves marginalize each other. Aisatu's mother-in-law successfully emotionally coerces her son into taking a second wife just because she doesn't like it. Betrayal is also in an oppressive situation as she is pressured to marry a much older man who she has little to nothing in common with by her mother simply because the guy is loaded. She is too dumb to even know she is being objectified for money by her own mother. Women are marginalized and their emotions are disregarded completely as they seem to be used as chess pieces for personal gain, almost like they are a cow or something. Sorry, Mr. Cow. I'm not saying you don't have feelings. I totally acknowledge your feelings. That was only a slip of the tongue. It won't happen again. Slip of the tongue. But what I'm trying to say is you have to feel or think some type of way about someone to offer them marriage while they are mourning their spouse. Imagine if that was in reverse and a woman approached a man at his wife's funeral. I mean, how would that look, right? I mean, I know, right? It's so disrespectful, so unacceptable. But you know, this is actually kind of a thing because it happened in Tsidangare because Neria too with Phineas.
When it comes to the crunch, you can always lean on my shoulder. Huh? The children need a strong, united family. Huh?
So classy. And this is what they do to Ramatula after forcing her to do all that traditional Islamic work for someone who no longer loved her to begin with. It's almost like women are subhuman, like women are women are animals. I didn't want to use any specific language there, Miss Cow. Animals. So that does it for our quick take on what we think are 5 of the most important themes in Mariama Barr's So Long a Letter. Hope you learned a lot today, guys. If you have any other books you want us to do in the future, give us a comment and show us some love in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching MC Africa. Hi guys, thanks for watching the video, and as always I hope you got enlightened. You know, here at Mimsy Africa we also offer graphic designing and video editing services to anyone around the world through Remit. The prices are quite reasonable, of course, so if you have a YouTube channel, video, blog or social media business that may require quality visuals that really make a statement and really engage your audience, hit us up either here in the comment section or at our Instagram inbox and we can make arrangements there. The link is in the bio. And as always folks, thanks for watching BMC Africa.